What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is always such a pleasure to be back. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys have been enjoying your weekend so far. And before we get into the midst of the video, oh sugar, no, we'll do that one again. We'll do it. What's up everybody, welcome back to yet another YouTube video and happy Saturday. I hope the weekend has been treating you well. If not, don't worry, there's always Sunday. Anyways, before we get into the thick of the video, I'm gonna need you guys to do me a bit of a favor and click that subscribe button. Yes, support your girl out and also support your friends, because I just want to really create content that helps people facilitate their personal growth as well as secure the bag, particularly when it comes to education and other bits and pieces. So yeah, so subscribe, support your girl. Cool. So today's video is all about scholarships. It's all about how to secure one, where to find it, particularly for those of you that are interested in scholarships for both undergrad and postgraduate qualifications. So I received a scholarship for both my undergraduate degree as well as my postgraduate degree.
I know I'm just wavy. I don't know what to say to you guys. I just have this Midas touch.
But yeah, I received scholarships for both. Just want to be able to help you guys out in terms of finding, sourcing, and eventually succeeding in securing a scholarship. So yeah, we're going to kick off with where to find a scholarship. Now, for me personally, I did a lot of research and I also had personal connections with people who knew a bit about scholarships. So, but when I say personal connections, I'm not talking like...
Listen, my family, we ain't got all that nepotism stuff down on lock or nothing like that, okay?
Especially when I went to Oxford, that I really found out more about like the real scholarship scene. But before that, I didn't have any clue about scholarships, where to start or anything like that. So first tip is start early, start researching where to find them. There are 3 places that I recommend that you have a look. The first is Opportunity Desk. I'm going to link all of these in the description bar below too. Opportunity Desk is my go-to, even to this day, for opportunities when it comes to scholarships, conferences, essay competitions, all that kind of stuff. It is literally the hot desk for all opportunities. So please, please, please check it out. The next that I would recommend is Scholarship Hub. Again, it's such a great place. It's super, super helpful for undergraduate degrees as well as masters. I find it super helpful for undergrads in particular, because there's a lot of kind of like niche scholarships that you wouldn't necessarily know about unless you actually looked at Scholarship Hub. So I recommend that. And the last recommendation is shameless self-plug, but Flyover Network. So essentially that is an organization that I set up by yours truly, of course, in which I hope to fill the gap of, you know, finding scholarship opportunities, but also educational and employment opportunities as well, particularly during this, you know, COVID time where things are still a little bit, you know, uneasy. We don't really know where everything is going. So yeah, for more opportunities, follow Flyover Network. We'll also put the details down below. When to apply for scholarships. So it seems that the overwhelming majority of scholarships tend to close in September/October. So we're looking at a fall deadline for most of them. But again, doing your research will make sure that you are well ahead of the game. And if you're applying for scholarships or opportunities, particularly for next year, it's a great time that you've come across this video, because you still have a lot of time. We're literally in July. You got time. You got time. So in terms of preparation, I would start preparing well in advance. I would start preparing in summer, like beginning of summer. If your course or the thing that you want to do requires a test, like the GRE, I spoke a little bit about my traumatic GRE experience a little bit earlier in my last video. If it requires you to do a test, please, please, please start revising well before that. I'm talking a good, if you can, 6 months before. If not, like, I'm not saying it can't be done. Lord knows I did it. But when I say I scraped through, I really scraped through with that test. Like, hanging, scraped through. Yeah, I did my GRE test and I started revising for it. Yeah, I want to say like a month or 2 before, maybe a month. No, it was definitely a month. Ooh, less than that. Oh. Give yourself enough time to prep for the tests that you need for your scholarship application. So yeah, I would say really, really start a couple of months before it's due. Also, don't forget to prepare the references that you need. Tell the people that are going to be refereeing you, if you need it in the scholarship, well in advance. Like, for most scholarships, you need between 2 to 3 recommenders. For me, when it came to particularly my postgraduate scholarship, I let my referees know as soon as possible, and to help them out with their recommendation, I would send them the specifications in a short summary page alongside the details of logging in if it were an online recommendation, just to make it easier for them so that they can get it done quickly, particularly if your referee is somebody that's super busy. My referees are all amazing people and they are incredibly busy. They just have lots of things to do. So
let your referees know well in advance. Okay, good.
All right, now is the juicy part. What are scholarship providers looking for in a candidate? The first thing is story. They want to be able to buy into your story. They really want to understand, what is it about you that makes you stand out? What is it about your journey that makes you perfect for this particular course or this particular opportunity? So you need to be somebody that's capable of creating a very compelling story. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, what do you stand to gain from this particular scholarship experience? So for example, for someone like me, I spoke about why that specifically would help me in my passion for education, learning, and international development. Insofar as I researched the scholarship opportunity, I looked at the kind of people that they had already given a scholarship to, as well as the work of the Kennedy Memorial Trust, and I aligned my story as well as my passions and my visions to the core passions and the core visions of the Kennedy Memorial Trust. So make sure that it's actually very specifically tailored each time to the scholarships that you're applying for. Don't send blanket applications. You will lose. You will actually lose, and they'll know. So make sure that you actually research the scholarship and tailor it very specifically. And then lastly, I urge you to see both scholarships, but also things like personal statements and applications as an investment. You are the investment. And essentially, when people give you scholarships, they're giving you money. And as great as it is to have, a full ride, it's actually about what return can you provide from that investment. So now that they've given you investment in the form of money and, this experience, what is it about you that will actively change the communities or the environments that you claim to be really passionate about? Scholarships are all about impact, and people want to be investors in people they genuinely believe will change the world. And don't feel like,
oh, I'm bragging, or oh, I don't really want to big myself up too much.
This is your opportunity to be your biggest fan. Honestly speaking, please be your biggest fan in your scholarship applications. It will do you well. Of course, don't be arrogant, but toot your own horn. You have been writing out and learning and picking up all of these experiences for a reason. This is your opportunity to really share that with people who could potentially see that and invest in your own human capital. So don't be shy at all. In terms of preparing for scholarship interviews, again, very similar process to the actual scholarship written and / online application, where you just need to make sure that you've researched the scholarship. You've reached out to anybody that you know that may have, gone through the interview process. Really, it's all about you demonstrating your passion for a particular subject and demonstrating that you know specific elements of what you want to do potentially later on. It doesn't have to be super crystallized, but you need to be able to actually articulate points and arguments as to why you are a great candidate for what you want to do. So for example, in my case, when I was talking about international education policy, I was speaking specifically as somebody that has gone through the state school system and was profoundly disillusioned by some of the problems that are within that institution. And I spoke about, my passion for learning, but also developing learning in ulterior modes and with ulterior modes of thinking specifically for the Black community. So don't be afraid to get down to that level of nitty gritty. They want to know that this is somebody that is transformative, like a transformer at heart. Thinking about some of the opportunities that I know, this is by no means a comprehensive list, but in terms of the scholarship programs that you might want to check out, the Kennedy Memorial Trust, I will ride for them from now till the end of time. They've literally a fantastic program, all expenses paid for British students or wannabe students to go to a US institution, specifically Harvard and MIT, exactly the same as Frank Knox. The BUNAC scholarship, the Knight-Hennessy scholarship. BUNAC is not necessarily all expenses paid, but hey, every little helps, right? So there's the BUNAC. Knight-Hennessy is all expenses paid to Stanford. Fullbright to a US institution, all expenses paid. So just make sure that you have all of these things in your ecosystem. Fullbright also has one for undergraduate students. And I would also urge you to have a look into the universities that you're applying to, especially my lovely, lovely, lovely students that are going to be preparing their UCAS statement soon, whether you're undergrad or postgrad, but specifically undergrad. Fullbright have something for you too. They have an undergraduate scholarship, so please check that out. There's also, you know, postdoctoral research opportunities. There are master's opportunities. There's so much, guys, and I want you guys to access them and go to school for free. Stop paying. But yeah, I hope that was super helpful. If there's anything, you know, any other questions that you might have for me, drop them down in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer them. I love answering comments. I love answering questions because I'm a question orientated person. But yeah, hope that video was useful, and as always, lots and lots of love. Like, share, comment. You never know who this could help. Don't be selfish. This could be something that, you know, is helpful to somebody else. Lord knows I wish I had seen something like this when I was applying. But you're gonna be okay, and go and make the application. Okay? Promise? Brilliant. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I'll catch you again on this channel real soon.